Hey guys, it is me, Kisame Unlimited, and today is Thursday. Thursdays are where I tackle my various rant series-based videos, where I either tackle my beatdowns on the ban list, or my rant on single-based videos. This will be a beatdown where I'll be tackling Super Rejuvenation and Card of Demise, where I would like to see these cards placed on the ban list. I would like to see Card of Demise put at 1, and I would like to see Super Rejuvenation go back to 1. Now, I'm going to give overall my discussions and my opinions, and you guys can leave it in the comment section below of how you feel about my opinions. Obviously, these are just opinions. These aren't facts, and I'm just giving my overall reasons why I would like to see these cards shifted. So I'm going to turn to the side and we're going to get on into this discussion, and it's going to be nice and fun. So like the video in advance. 500 likes would be the goal. If you would like to see another Banlist beatdown in the future, it's greatly appreciated. For anyone that goes out of their way to like the video, makes the channel more popular, makes the channel grow, and it makes my day if you do so. So I'm going to turn to the side now. We're going to tackle these two cards right now. The first card I'll be tackling will be Super Rejuvenation. Now, the best way I could describe Super when I look at him is a lot of the times I forget that this card is even banned. I'm like, oh, I keep thinking this card's at 3 and like nobody plays it. But then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when this card was around. This card was around when Dragon Rulers were around. That's why it got hit. And then I'm like, but now, why is it still banned? I mean, I get it. The card's really great, and in the right type of deck, you could +3, you could +4. However, it's not searchable. You know, even if you have it in the right type of deck, doesn't mean you're always going to get so many pluses out of it. There are decks out there that abuse Pot of Desires, fucking Card of Demise that I'm going to be tackling, where a simple +1/+2 mechanic that could come off of Super is something that I look at and I say, it's not that bad. Now, prime example, based off the top of my head, Blue Eyes is probably considered one of the best dragon-based decks around right now. But if Super Rejuvenation came back, I'm not going to go, hey gosh, look how dangerous it is. It will break everything. It's not going to break anything. It's a good card. That's the best way to describe it. It's a good card. Is it an unstoppable card? No. Is it a card that's going to give so much huge advantage? No. It's a good card, but it has its weak points. Plus, a lot of dragon-based decks that are coming out and have been coming out have been all titled with the worm typing. They're like, this is a worm. This is considered a worm. Worm, worm, worm. Okay, well, if they're worms, they're not going to plus off Super Rejuvenation. For me, I just don't see the type of damage that Super can cause. I see it as a great card. Do I see it as an unstoppable mess? No, and I do not believe it deserves an errata to come back. I think it's just a fair, decent card that gave, you know, a good +1 mechanic. Because when Dragon Rulers were around, we lost a shit ton of shit. We lost Dragon's Ravine, Super Rejuvenation, the Baby Dragon Rulers, and I'm pretty sure many other things went because of the Dragon Rulers. But, you know, the Dragon Rulers got hit, Dragon's Ravine came back, but I look at Super Rejuvenation and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's not that bad. It's one of those things where if it was just put to 1, that would still make a difference. It's not like I'm saying, oh, take it from ban, put it to 3, because the Dragon Rules aren't around anymore. But at the end of the day, if it's at 1, it would see play, but it wouldn't be insane. I think the only thing that made the card really unfair was that it was a quick play. I think the quick play side of it really kind of gave it that little push over the edge. But in the end, I do believe it is a card. I mean, yet again, if you guys are hearing this and you're like, oh, Super Rejuvenation coming back, that's crazy, leave it in the comment section below, because in my opinion, I do believe that if it came back, it wouldn't break the game. Because anytime when I ever see a banned card, my logic is not if it's fair or not, I view it as, would it be so playable that it would break the game? Would it push a deck completely to another level? And that's what I consider a banned Yu-Gi-Oh card. When one card makes all the difference. And I kind of don't see that for Super. I just don't see it. I just see it as a good card that would be used, but hell, Pot of Desires and Card of Demise and everything, and, you know, I don't think that they are so fucking insane. I mean, compared to, you know, gaining their +1 mechanics, that they're all both at 3. So I look at it and I say, you know what, I can see it at 1. I mean, I would love to hear you guys' opinions on it, so leave it right now, because I'm going to get into Card of Demise right now. Alright, let's read Card of Demise. Draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Also, for the rest of the turn after this card effects resolves, your opponent takes no damage. During the end phase of this turn, send your entire hand to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 Card of Demise per turn. You can add special summon during the turn you activated this card. The thing that I really dislike about Card of Demise is that it is at 3. Because if it was at 1, I wouldn't care. Because it's not like it always guarantees that +3 mechanic. But in every deck that plays it with basically a shit ton of trap cards that they could easily just sit and path. And they don't play a shit ton of monsters, so they don't have to worry about special summoning. And most of the time, they either just give one normal summon and they basically set 2. And first of all, in the fucking OCG, it's at 2, so it's already being viewed as dangerous over there. In this game, you cannot overlook +1 based cards. I don't give a fuck what they are. But you see, a good example, Upstart Goblin. I always go back to Upstart Goblin. Upstart Goblin was the simple, give your opponent 1,000 life, draw a card. Simple as that. You break even, you thin out your deck, that was it. That's at 1. That's at 1, and that's a card that literally is just, give me 1 free card. That card gives 3 under a great circumstance based off whatever deck you're playing, and any deck that could give you that needs to be viewed with a fucking magnifying glass. Because no matter what happens, stun and a shit ton of trap cards in a deck is not very hard in today's metagame. You will always find decks that could always abuse whatever kind of mechanic you're interested in. And I feel like Card of Demise is a standalone great normal spell card that has a decent amount of backlash, but in the end, I don't look at the card and say, ban it. But a good example, you could easily play Card of Demise, draw into another Card of Demise, and set it up for your next turn play. That is too unfair, and I believe that that shouldn't be able to be a thing. I do believe Card of Demise is great for decks that really are slow and they need the speed, and I think that decks like that can't survive without a couple of extra +1 mechanics. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I see it as a 1. I think it's fair at 1, but if it's at 3, it's a bit obnoxious and a bit excessive. And I think when it comes to most other decks that have to work harder for their combos and getting their +1 mechanics off, that's just 1, 2, 3, drop this, draw 3, I could set them all, push, pass, negate, 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 flip, flip, flip. But I do think that it's overly played, which it is. I don't have to fucking, you know, say, wait, because if anyone's watching this video and they're like, I don't see it, what does that card really do? Is that card really busted? The card has topped in the past. The card is great, and the card is around. The card is relevant. The card is not fucking in the dust like Tumbleweed, because if it was Tumbleweed I wouldn't give a flying fuck. But the card is relevant, the card is good, and you cannot overlook great generic cards in the game. I don't give a fuck what they are. So if you disagree, you're being stupid and you're being ignorant just because you probably play it. That's my overall opinions about Super Rejuvenation. I think the cause of the reason why it got banned is gone, so I kind of feel like, you know, if the original problem was taken care of, I don't see a reason why this card can't go back to 1. And as for Card of Demise, the card's just great. The card's fucking really good. And if the card's really good, I do believe, you know, pay it some mind, Konami. I mean, the card's, you know, fucking, it's a little annoying. Maybe I'll make my other video about fucking Pot of Desires, because that card is another one that needs to get it. If anybody is wondering what the fuck I've been up to and why the fuck I haven't been making videos, it's because I went to visit my family and I had to go all the way across boroughs to see them. And I was like, you know what, I'm only going to be here for a short amount of time because I had to come back for work. Not for this work. I also got a job recently, and I'm basically juggling this, my family, my social life, my boyfriend, all of it in like a day. And it's been really hard. So I hope that you guys understand that. So it's hard having a life. I don't like it. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video for what it was of me bitching and complaining, because that's what my Thursday videos are. So stay tuned for the future. Like the video if you haven't already. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. My Tuesdays are my weekly topics. My Thursdays are my Banlist beatdowns and my rant-ons. My Saturdays, I was going to say Thursdays again. My Saturdays are my top 10s, where I tackle various top 10 subjects. And my Sundays are the 6-Bit Pain Challenge, where I duel my subscribers. I hope you guys all have a great day, better tomorrow, and I will see you guys in a future video.